So today in this tutorial we'll be learning how to make notes. Now we're not just going to be learning notes, we're going to be learning how to structure them, how to organize them, and of course what should we really write in our notes so that they're really effective towards us. So without further ado, let's get started. First of all, we're going to be learning how to structure our notes, and I think structuring your notes is one of the most important things that you should be doing in every subject. So the first thing you have to do whenever you're creating your notes, I think it's important that you look into your content table. Content table is very important because you'd be able to see the overall outline of the subject. You'd be able to know what's exactly in your textbook and how you should be organizing your time in a more effective manner. At the same time, it lets you know what exactly there will be in the exam that you should be tackling. So as you can see, there is in total, this is the first section, and this is the second section, this is the third section, and then we've got the fourth section, the fifth section, the sixth one, and the seventh one. So this lets us know that there'll be 7 sections in the book, and we have to make sure we understand all the 7 sections so that we'll be able to tackle our exam paper. After looking into the content page, it's important to get ready with your materials. Usually I would prepare some sticky notes, a Apple Pencil just in case if I have to make notes on my iPad, my pencil, and of course some highlighters. Usually I would pick a certain shade that I want to be using, and I just tend to pick up the highlighters of the same shade. And this is a small little correction tape, eraser, and just to moisturize your hands at times I would take a cream with me. So this is my little study toolkit that I use on a daily basis. So in addition to the content table, I tend to have a Google document with me where I would have the 7 sections divided, and I tend to write a few sentences underneath each of the title so that I am able to know what I have in each of the topic that's in the content page. So this is going to be really helpful when I'm revising for my exams. Now in terms of content, I'd like to mention that when you're making notes online, I think one of the key criteria is you're writing in key points like this. I don't think it's going to be very helpful because it might help you in the short term, just for lecture notes, just for being able to write it quickly. But when you are going to revise, I think adding some pictures, having long sentences, highlighting them, making some notes, adding pictures would be very, very helpful. And in this way, your brain does not have to fill any gaps for you because you're already helping them to fill the gaps. So these are some of my notes I made for my subject, and I think this is really, really helpful. So as you may all know right now that I tend to use orange for most of my highlightation of my notes. However, when I believe that there is something really important like the definition or something that might appear in the exam, I tend to use a different color. Now the first reason for doing this is because I will realize this is important, and I will be able to realize that, oh, probably this is going to come in my exam. Second, I think if you look at the entire page, I think red stands out the most, and it's very eye-catching. That's naturally going to force you to really memorize the definition. So I'm pretty sure most of you watched this video simply because you want to learn how to make aesthetic notes. Now, of course, I'm not a person who's very artistic. However, whenever I'm trying to make notes in my textbook, one of the things that I do is tend to add pictures and add-ons to my textbook. So this is something that I've done myself. So I think a simple way to really make notes is trying to be able to collect all the information from your textbook and trying to use your own ways to create your own masterpiece so that you're able to understand the concept in a better way. So, for example, in my own notes, I've used different locations for different colors. As you can see over here, we've got yellow, purple, blue, gray. So these are all symbolizing different parts of the places. So that's one way I would do my notes. Another way I would create my notes is really just going to the keynotes on my iPad or the Microsoft PowerPoint on my laptop and just trying to create notes for myself so that I don't struggle the day before exams and I don't panic. So that's another way I tend to tackle my notes. And not the least, as I've mentioned, I like creating PowerPoints for myself because I think I'm a person who is visually pleased by mind maps or digitally pleasing materials. So I tend to use PowerPoints for my own revision, and that's about it. And usually when I create my notes, I tend to put it next to my textbook so that if I go through my textbook before the exams, I can look at my notes. Hey everybody, I think that's about it, and I really hope you liked the video, and I hope all the tips I've mentioned are really helpful for you. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If you've got any suggestions for my next video, please feel free to comment below and I'll be looking at them as well. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much, everyone. See you soon.